G'day, this is Captainoob and this is the RK-5 pistol. This is yet another standalone Black Ops 3 weapon, and it is a pretty good looking pistol, and that is because it is a direct rip from the game there, textures and all. So yeah, it looks pretty good. It's highly customizable too. We'll get into these attachments. Now I'm aware that this thing in its normal game is a burst fire pistol, but you really can't do that. The best that you can get is, or the closest you can get, is just using your finger for select fire on the trigger. So yeah, we'll chuck that up to advanced auto receiver just for the best damage and an automatic platform. And for the barrels, we've got standard long armor piercing barrel, which makes the thing penetrate armor despite not using different rounds. Maybe the bullets fly out at a better velocity with that tiny little bit of extended barrel there. That's why it does that. You can get a one that gives you better critical damage shot and accuracy, which seems like to be like the best one there, so we'll definitely do that. And this one gives you a better hipfire accuracy because it is nice and compact. Anyways, for the grips, we've got the standard, we've got the comfort, and the ported ones will of these will actually reduce recoil even more. And you've got the army one there, which actually looks kind of cool there. Might as well chuck that on, sure. Anyways, for the magazine, we've got the standard, the large, the quick eject mag, which is the one we've got now, except it reloads faster, and of course the large quick eject. It's all very self-explanatory. Now for the sights is where it gets a little bit more interesting. You can have standard sights, which you've got now, glowies of all different colours. You can have hollow sights of different colours as well, and a reflex sight and a special sight, which probably is just like a see-through reflex sight with more of a housing around it. Probably not, it's not saying we're getting any more benefits out of that, so we'll just go for a cheap little reflex sight on that. Why not? Now for the muzzle, you got a choice between 4 suppressors, and we'll go for the one that nets you the best sort of range and least accuracy penalty. And this one actually adds accuracy, which is interesting, so yeah, we'll definitely chuck that on. And you can have a device on this in the form of laser pointers, either in green or red. Let's go green. Bridget likes the color green. And of course, the legendary effects exist if you want it. This thing's almost hitting 200 damage, which means it should be able to drop some of the gunners pretty quickly as long as we get the sneak attack criticals on them. So let's go ahead and find out what this thing can do. Okay, so here we are outside of Immersive Gunners Plaza like we were yesterday, but this time we're not going to have any help from any companions. We're going to try to do this solo and with a little pea shooter, so yeah, it should be fun. So first of all, we'll just get into that little bush that we were yesterday, and we'll start shooting some people. So with the sneak attack criticals, getting about 400 damage there with some cases there, which is kind of great. But now, as you can tell, we're pretty much going to be swarmed by gunners. But the good thing about pistols in Fallout 4 is that they're super VAT efficient, and I've got the calibrated barrel there, so we're able to absolutely knacker that gunner with the crit there. And wow, look at all that damage with the crit. Yeah, this thing is going to be absolutely devastating to these gunners, which is great. So you might notice that this thing's rate of fire isn't the fastest either, despite this thing being like a super rapid fire, sort of a burst fire pistol in its native game. This thing is a very slow automatic weapon in Fallout 4, which is kind of weird. I would have at least thought the modder would have upped the rate of fire a little bit to more match what it'd be like if it was firing burst fire, but here we are. So right now we're in a lot of danger here because everyone knows where we are, and it's we're gonna have a little bit of a problem doing lots of damage. As you can tell there, we're already down to half health already, so we'll switch over to our semi-auto one with a cool little sight on that, and we might actually have to play this with a little bit of guerrilla warfare. If we can just slip back into caution for a second. There we go, and see if we can't hit some of these gunners there. I probably should have switched to the automatic one. Actually, never mind. That's going to kill them regardless, and I think this is how we're going to play it. Guerrilla warfare tactics and just crit spamming just like that. That is how we're going to beat this play solo. I mean, you might as well call me Captain Sneak Attack Critical at this point, because that's all I bloody do. Now, and thanks to all of the perks, all of the luck perks, I'm getting even more crits to dish out every time I get a kill. So thank you to Grim Reaper Sprint for that. Can we one crit that Gunner Brigadier? Yes, we can. Oh, we're just absolutely destroying these gunners now, but unfortunately our time for critting is over. We are finally out. Good run with good old 4-leaf clover, and also Grim Reaper Sprint, but it's going to be hard to get the crits back if we're going to be one bursting every single one of these gunners like that. But that's just a testament to how absolutely devastating this weapon is. So if you like this thing back in Black Ops 3 and you just want to dominate people with it in the game of Fallout 4, then this is probably the mod for you. But unfortunately, what I believe this mod to be is one of those paid private mods. So unless you're getting it off someone else or actually paying for it, which who's to say they'll even send you the files after you did that, it's going to be kind of hard to get this one. I think I might let that bug go. Got another gunner commander, one more crit for you. There we go, he is nice and dead, and yep, out of crits again. We might as well go back to our position just in front of the... Wow, okay, you just clipped through the wall there, interesting. Yeah, okay, still in caution, we're still able to pump out sneak attack criticals very quickly. There's another commander there, so again, these gunners are pulling no punches. They're finally arming Gunners Plaza up with the people that it really needs to keep Captainoob out, and unfortunately there, I've gone back into danger because I decided to come out of crouch and sprint for a second. So now we're back into fighting these guys mano, I suppose. Alright, so that one's got an AA-12 up there. He's trying to shoot us from that range with a shotgun. Not the brightest gunner, but he's not going to be any brighter once I fill up his face with lots of 10mm bullets. And that is, by the way, what this gun uses for animations. Just the 10mm pistol animations, which makes it nice and compatible and rigged to those animations there. And fuck off, gunner. Now you've made her mad. So I guess any mods in the future that come out that do replace the 10mm pistol animations will actually, you know, see this thing have custom animations attached to it, which is kind of good. Okay, looks like we've cleared them all out in the front. Now it's time to hit the roof there, and ooh, that's a nice little thing. That's kind of raidery, not really gunnery, but there you go. There's another one with an AA-12. That thing is super loud. If you could just shut up now, that would be great. There you go. Alright, now we're back in the nerd rage because, bad timing, but we'll be out of it soon. Unfortunately, still in danger. We'll try to get some of the use out of this nerd rage there just to get in that nice little bit of recoil there, or reel in that recoil and hit that dude as accurate as that. And now we are slipping out of danger once more. That dude is only spazzing out on the floor. That's not someone running up to me. Of course, we've got those 3 gunners in there. Back into caution now, which means we can take out the rest of these guys very, very easily indeed. Another commander there. Down you go. And another commander, probably twins. And down they go. We'll crack this open real quick.
Sweet.
And we'll clear the room out with sneak attack criticals. This is why you're supposed to take cover. Maybe put the mattress frames in a way that would actually allow you to hide behind them, but instead you're... Oh, okay, we've gone mad again, which is probably the worst time to do that, because I think at this point we've cleared out the top of Gunners Plaza, and we did so in a pretty timely manner thanks to a lot of that crit spammery, which is great. Also, this is the longest jump I've ever done. That actually did damage to me because I fell for so long. The altering physics of slow time. Okay, so we'll enter this place and we'll see what we can do. Okay, here we are in the interior of Immersive Gunners Plaza. Hopefully we won't have as many frame rate issues as last time, but hope is not a plan. Anyways, we'll go ahead and get stuck into some of these gunners there. We missed that first shot even though our sights were right on there, so a little bit of base spread on this weapon, but as long as we can keep ourselves nice and hidden, we should have an easy time getting through Gunners Plaza. Now, for some reason, the NPCs that are usually down here, there's 3 of them, they haven't spawned, so I guess we'll move straight on to the center bit then. Alright, so the brackets are moving around a little bit at this point, so we can assume that there's a few people around here. There's one there. The guy is always on the computer. Anyways, now we can get to the center of this place. There's those turrets that are usually there, although, yeah, there's one there that is not there. Where are all the NPCs at? Okay, there's a few down there. I think they're yet to spawn at this point, but they will spawn, don't worry. They'll be here. This is all just the training. So, I've taken out the Captain Bridget Gunner Boss in here because I'd imagine that sort of had the little bit of the conflict with the Immersive Gunners Plaza mod, because for some reason, when I had both mods activated, there was just a massive pile of photo frames in this melee gunner section, which I'll go ahead and see if they're there now. No, this place is clean, so apparently it was something to do with that. So maybe I might have to review my load order if I want to keep that little mini boss in here. But for now, we're playing as Captain Bridget. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to be killing ourselves unless one of them is a synth. But who is the synth? I'll let you decide. But the answer is not the one I'm playing as. Okay, so last little gunner there. What have you got on you? Have you got an RK-5? You've definitely got a... Ooh. Okay, you've got a weapon that I haven't yet seen. That's interesting. Okay, so now we should be able to face all of the gunners up here because if memory serves... yes, there's one. We'll quickly finish you off. Oh, you survived the sneak attack critical. And look at all these gunners around there. Okay, this is where it's all going to start to hit the fan because we got to kill these guys as fast as possible. Now, if you're using this with the advanced receiver or just semi-auto receiver with a suppressor, you can tell that there's some sort of custom sound going on here, which is great. So we're going to keep to the shadows here. These gunners are about as blind as a bat. We'll switch to first person because the sights were a little bit obscuring my aim there. So we'll just go ahead and keep on shooting them just a little bit like this. And as soon as they funnel down this little choke point here, we can just go ahead and shoot them as easily as that. So at this point, you're probably wondering why these enemies are so susceptible to that, and that is because stealth is super overpowered in Fallout 4. There's no question to it. The fact that you can go ahead and sneak attack crit even though you've got... Okay, we'll switch back over to our automatic one now that we've been detected. Okay, we disappeared. Why are we just... Oh, it's just a drawing thing. Okay, we'll just go back into first person then if we can. There we go. Yes, the reason that it is so overpowered is that basically you can still execute sneak attack criticals without being hidden. You can still be in caution in doing it. So that's kind of why it is how it is. And also we can one-shot these guys with sneak attack, with just regular criticals thanks to the extra boost we've got to critical damage, which is good. Also, that is one very old gunner there, and now he is a very dead gunner. I guess he had a good life of being a badass mercenary dude, and we can cut down that Gunner Brigadier very quickly there, and that is Gunner's Plaza Immersive on the inside cleared out very nicely. I'm going to see if I can still get that Gunner mini-boss in there, because that does spice it up a little bit, and you know what? We need to test these weapons against the hardest foes possible. Alright, we'll move on to one more thing. Okay, so let's finish off this video by taking on some mid to high level super mutants. He's a basic one, so he'll go down in one shot. And instead of just commentating on the weapon's performance, we can all see that this thing is nice and powerful. I want to talk about the lore implications of this weapon, because that's what somebody wanted to hear me talk about, the lore implications of things. And by the way, if you want an actual good lore channel, I suggest you go to Oxhorn. Just don't watch his video about the Brotherhood of Steel because it calls them all Nazis. That kind of annoyed me. But anyways, so I got a question whether these things would actually kind of exist in the Fallout universe, because I believe the same time frame as Black Ops 3 is around where these weapons exist in their respective universes, which is kind of interesting. And also, we just bloody knackered that guy very quickly. Also, there's a doggo there, don't forget him. So, in a way, this is only a mod and you can take this at face value, but I do believe that these weapons would probably not exist, even though they do look very advanced and futuristic. All the Fallout universe weapons at this point were moving on to energy weapons, because obviously they're probably a lot less, a lot cheaper to run than your basic ballistic weapon, simply because you're running the thing on batteries, and plus the ammo would be a lot lighter, it'd be better for logistics and all that, which means less oil to have the things through. And also, I've got no texture for the doghouse there. Everybody just ignore that. Okay, so moving on through these super mutants here, we're pretty much cutting them down as fast as we can. There's an enforcer there next to a turret, so we'll quickly take out the turret and ragdoll him for a second. Can't get him in VATS, unfortunately. We'll just hop onto this roof. This seems like a good vantage point. My battlefield sensors are kicking in. I must go to the rooftop and camp. Got another sneak attack crit on him, and now he is dead. Now there's usually just one more turret. I think it's under that house, which should be easy to kill. But before we do that, there's going to be a monster at the end of this. Meet the Mutant Hound Viscerator. It's not his first appearance, but he is a worthy foe to test out this. Did my game just crash? No, it just hiccuped for a second. Anyways, we'll just quickly sneak attack crit him, as well as a regular crit, and hopefully we get a whole lot of damage on him, unless we keep missing. Alright, now we're only doing 40 damage a hit, which is a little bit scary. And also my AP bar is showing because the game decided to bug out a little bit. So, alright, now we're back to doing sneak attack criticals. Now we're in danger because that other giant doggo was running at us. So now we have to quickly make it to high ground there. And just like Anakin Skywalker, getting onto the high ground is an excellent way of defeating it. Unless we jump down to kill a turret temporarily. Okay, now all we need to do is wait for him to bugger off, and then we can get all the sneak attack crits in the world. So yeah, these things plausibly will not exist in the Fallout universe simply because the technology at the time was moving on to the energy weapons, which would be a whole lot better, probably in performance because they shoot like lasers that could immolate people, and also in logistics reasons for carrying that ammo around and sending it to the troops of Anchorage. That's why Liberty Prime had giant bloody lasers on him instead of giant artillery cannons. As you can tell there, oh, he bit me through that bastard. Oh, he did that again. Okay. You've got some hacks on you, doggo. Well, I'm going to go over this way. Can I lure you over there? Now, you're going for a bite there, which, that's probably telling me that you can actually hit me there, but we are doing pretty good damage on him. Now he seems to be getting a nasty stagger. He can totally bite us through that. What the fuck is this game? We died. Okay, round 2 against that giant doggo who can bite through walls apparently, and this time we've got him at the dead of night, so he should be a little bit better for constant sneak attack crits and all of that. So we'll just first off spam that spacebar. I'm going to spam it really hard just so you know I'm really pressing that button down. Did you know the harder you press the crit button, the more crit damage you'll get? This is also possible on PS4s and Xbox One, so make sure you spam the fucking shit out of your crit button, alright? That makes the guns do more damage. Also, for the fire button, the harder you press the trigger, the faster your gun will fire, so make sure you just hammer down on that trigger as fast as you can. Okay, now we've got half an AP bar. We'll just get rid of that doggo very quickly now with the constant sneak attack criticals. He's not going to last for long, and as you can tell, we're getting like 800 damage per critical hit with sneak attack criticals onto him, where yeah, in normal hits we'd be getting about 69 of the damage there instead of that. So all of these things are back because I did kind of die and reset all of these enemies, but you know what, we'll just finish them off there and that'll be it for this video. Also, jump scare doggo, but not really jump scare because we can just turn and burn him like that. So there you have it, that was an RK-5. I believe this one is one of those paid private mods too, but I got it for free. So yeah, you probably want to talk to, I believe it is Master Shifu over on Gun Network, and he'll probably sell you this thing for a mega fee of $10,000. And if he finds out you've taken it without giving him any money, he'll probably hunt you down. So if I just stop posting videos, you'd probably know that I've been killed by Russian hackers or something like that. Pray for Captainoob, he may not survive. Thank you for watching, guys.